Welcome to the British Wrestling Review. My name is Derek Del Monte.
And I'm Roddy Fontaine, baby.
And we're here for you today with the PEW Foregone Conclusion on the 30th of April 2022 review.
And honestly, what a show this was, ladies and gents. Absolutely phenomenal. I highly rated, Derek. Top work.
Phenomenal elite wrestling. That's what PEW stands for, and that's what we got. So we started this night out with two pre-show matches. Not something that you'd expect from a live event. Generally, that is for something that is on, I don't know, TV. But this was brilliant.
Exactly, and the best thing about having a pre-show matches is for the younger talent and the not so experienced talent to get out there and show what they're made of, and that's exactly what we saw on the show. Exactly.
Now, we were first of all introduced to our commentary team for PEW. That is the infamous Dave Bradshaw and the lovely Leah Raven.
Honestly, what a perfect duo they were at that show as well. Phenomenal.
They worked really, really well together, I thought. And there's a reason Leah Raven was on commentary. We'll get to that later. So we started out with the match of Drake Winter versus the Invisible Man. Now, he came out with a cape over his head. I could see him. Leah Raven could see him. But apparently Dave Bradshaw and this one couldn't see him.
I couldn't see him, though.
You couldn't see him?
No, he's invisible.
He's not invisible. It was a cloak over his head.
No, he was invisible. You couldn't see him.
You couldn't see him. All right.
It's hard to miss.
Apparently he couldn't see him. But I could. And that's all that matters, really. But he started strong. He used his invisibility to his advantage on Drake Winter, getting up on him early. But Drake Winter, the Emperor, being a big, physical, imposing man, that didn't last long, did it, Ronnie?
No, and the Invisible Man did use his cape throughout, and he does get a schoolboy for a near fall on Drake. Sadly missed out on that, but not long after, Drake did take control of the cape from the Invisible Man, and he mocked him. Causing another near fall for the Invisible Man.
Yeah, he tried to throw it over his head. It was all inside out. He tried to be invisible, but you know, it's a cape, so wasn't invisible. Drake did take control again after this, but he went up for that second rope splash and he missed it completely, which allowed the Invisible Man in to hit the stunner. The 1, 2, 3, match over.
Exactly, and that's what happens when you're invisible. You can't see or what predicts going to happen. Hence why the Invisible Man actually managed to win.
No, he got lucky because Drake missed the second rope slash.
Maybe because he was invisible.
He wasn't invisible at the time, though, was he?
He's Invisible Man.
All right. When he doesn't have the cape, he's not invisible. Anyway, great match. Drake Winter showed what he is made of. I think he should have won that personally, but the Invisible Man used his cunning and his guile to get the pinfall win.
Yeah, I agree, but Drake Winter, you can't take nothing from the man, but the Invisible Man did deserve to win.
Well, he did win, so I guess he does deserve to win. Match number 2 on the pre-show. This is Aluna Blue versus Ivy. Now, this was a typical big woman versus small woman, and Ivy, well, she dominated this match quite early on. Aluna Blue trying to use her speed and agility to get the advantage. She did take Ivy down with a tilt-a-whirl head scissors, but it was to no avail.
And Ivy did cut her off with a backbreaker, and not one but two gut-wrench suplexes. And oh, what suplexes they were as well.
I thought that was it. I thought Luna Blue would be put away after that. I mean, a backcracker, 2 gut-wrench suplexes, that's enough to put most people down. But she couldn't put her away. It caused a lot of frustration from Ivy. She thought she would be able to put her away quickly, but let Aluna Blue back in the match, and she hit a beautiful Northern Light suplex to get control again.
Exactly, and seeing that, Blue counters Ivy and hits a pitch-perfect DDT, and oh, what a DDT it was, and it was a very, very close near fall on that, I have to add.
Was one of a number of beautiful DDTs in this, not just in this match, but in this entire show. So Ivy did take control after that DDT, and she got Blue into the Boston Crab. Luna Blue did manage to get to the ropes, but it caused a lot of damage to the lower back. The bigger woman on the smaller woman, putting a lot of pressure on her lower back there. But Blue does escape by getting to the ropes for the rope break.
Yeah, and straight after that, Ivy went to get a bat. A bat? So Blue grabbed the bat, and then they had a... Did I see that correctly? Was a tug of war?
It was. It was. They had a tug of war over the bat. The ref managed to step in, take the bat away, because foreign object. You're not allowed foreign object in a match. But as the ref went to put the bat on the outside of the ring, Ivy's only gone and got another bat.
Yeah.
On our side of the ring. You should have taken it off of her.
Well, in theory, yeah, I should have taken that off of her, but I can't get involved in people's matches, can I? I ain't got no place to be doing that sort of thing.
You can't get involved in people's
there
matches.
You go.
You are right, but the second bat was enough for Ivy. She clocked her around the head with it, knocked her out, pinfall win. 1, 2, 3.
Bit of an unfair way to win, but what can you do? 1, 2, 3. That was the final call.
Well, that's that was the pre-show. 2 good matches there, setting us off nicely for what was to come in the main show. The first match of the main show was 2 competitors I have personally never seen before: Big Guns Joe versus Chase Alexander, and I was astounded. This was a really good match. Chase Alexander has this really well put together character. He's so mysterious. He comes down with a fur coat and a martini.
Very aggressive looking as well, I have to add.
Indeed, very Brawler-like. Reminds me of a sort of a 1930s New York gangster kind.
Yeah, very much like on the Al Capone era. And I have to admit though, when I was watching this match, as my colleague was saying, absolutely phenomenal. But Big Guns Joe did start off very strongly, getting the better of Chase Alexander with strength.
Yeah, he's a big strong man, isn't he, Big Guns Joe? That's why he's called Big Guns Joe. He's got the big guns. Not as big as mine. But he apparently went for this Boston Crab early. It's another one with the Boston Crab. But Chase Alexander did manage to get out of it, attacking the ear of Big Guns Joe to get him off.
Yeah, exactly. And seeing that was a little bit weird. But Chase Alexander went to work on Big Guns Joe with strikes. And, one hell of a clothesline that was.
Yeah, I haven't seen a clothesline like that for a long time. It was big, it was strong. It's how you wanna win a match, quite frankly. I've seen matches end with clotheslines like this, but that wasn't to be. Joe did go for a suplex, which was counted into a code breaker by Chase. And I thought, again, that would have been a good way to end the match. But this match continued, and Joe managed to hit a big backdrop on Chase Alexander. He's not a really tall man, but Alexander went quite far up in the air with that backdrop.
Oh, and the way that Big Guns Joe managed to execute that big backdrop was phenomenal. Honestly, I know I keep using the word phenomenal, folks, but it absolutely was top notch. And then Big Gun Joe's went for the Boston Crab again. And Chase Alexander reversed it into a small package for a very close near fall. Honestly, when I mean close, it was close.
There are so many ways you can counter that Boston Crab. Small package was a great idea. Almost had Chase Alexander with the win. Chase did actually hit a facebuster. He got another near fall after that, but this is where Big Guns Joe showed his experience and his ability. He hit a massive pop-up power bomb on Chase Alexander. He transitioned almost instantly after the powerbomb into the Boston Crab. This time, Chase had nowhere to go. Tap, tap, tap. Match is over.
And that was a debut win as well for Big Guns Joe. And what a way to win on your debut on PEW.
Exactly. There's so many debuts that happened in this show, and I was made up for him. It was a good win for Big Guns Joe, and now we'll see how he'll do going forward in future shows.
Exactly that, folks, and be on your toes, keep your ears open. Definitely going to be something you want to see in the future.
Biggest question is, though, what next for Chase Alexander? Maybe we will see.
Stay tuned and find out.
Match 2 was the first quarter-final in the Fallen Angel tournament.
Oh, honestly, this match, ladies and gents, was probably one of my favourite matches throughout this show. Really good. It is an FA tournament in honour of the late Nancy Benoit. And, in fact, this is the debut of both ladies for PEW. Am I right, Derek?
You are right there, Ronnie. Both Mariah May and Echo Reed debut in this tournament, the Fallen Angel tournament, as you said, in honour of the late, great Nancy Benoit. Now, this was actually the first time that I've seen Mariah May's full entrance, and well, she wasn't exactly glad-handing with the fans, and the fans did not take to her very well. There was a lot of boos, not from me. I was remaining impartial, but the children definitely didn't seem to like her very much, and that brought a lot of negative feelings from Mariah. In fact, when she got in the ring, she just sat there in the corner with her hands over her ears.
I felt she was very angry as well, and you can see that from how the match started off. Like, Mariah was very annoyed about how the response was, as you were saying, and that aggression, literally how it started off. So she started the match in very quick and strong fashion, hitting 2 big boots in the corner very aggressively, I have to add.
That's because Echo's entrance, the fans were behind her. The children were cheering for her. Everybody loved her. But it was to her detriment at the beginning of that match. Those 2 big boots.
I think that's just how...
Hell of a kick.
Exactly, and I felt that really angered Mariah May, and she thought, you know what, I'm just going to go in with 2 big boots, and that's exactly what we saw, and they were very aggressive.
Certainly were. Echo did make a comeback though. She hit a flatliner and a massive cross body for a near fall, but it wasn't to be, as after this Mariah May just took control of the match. After going out on the outside of the ring to gain a bit of a distance, she managed to draw Echo out to her, took control. I would say Echo did have some brief glimpses to get back into the match, exactly. But even after a beautiful looking tornado DDT in the near fall, it wasn't to be, was it, Ronnie?
No, it wasn't. Despite a very good tornado DDT, very close to that win, but Mariah did recover and hit her with a very, very, very strong pedigree for the win of 1-2-3. After the match, Mariah threw a very bad tantrum as the fans still continued to boo her, and then she literally just fled through the curtains.
Yeah,
she just wasn't having it.
I mean, she wanted the cheering, she wanted all the accolades, all the love and attention, and she was getting none of it in this one. Everybody was behind Echo, and unfortunately, she lost. But when you've got such a pitch perfect pedigree like that, nobody really gets up from it.
No, I agree, but you can't deny though, what a hell of a debut for both female wrestlers.
It was brilliant, and like you said, it was one of the top matches on the card of a lot of top matches, and we'll get to those. But I didn't think this could be done better, but out come the Prestige after this. Now the Prestige, he grabbed a mic and he cut a promo on a guy called Rye.
Ah, Rye the Sound Guy. Yeah, I know Rye the Sound Guy. He's all right. Obviously what we saw, Rye the Sound Guy went toe-to-toe with Jim Diehard.
Well, you're getting ahead of yourself there, Ronnie. Prestige comes out for tearing down of a couple of people here. Now, when I mentioned that Leah Raven was on the show, she was because the other commentator, Pete Haynes, had been suspended for whatever reason. He got involved in a match at Kings of Combat, and as the Prestige said, as a commentator, as a non-combatant in the company, you can't get involved in a match like that. So he was suspended.
But don't you think he was provoked, and which got him suspended in the first place, though, Derek?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
But
so
it sounds
I can't comment on something that I wasn't aware of.
Nevertheless, though, sounds a little bit fishy to me. It is what it is. He then proceeded to call out Rye the Sound Guy, a trainee, who won the tag belts with the Prestige and became the first PEW champs.
Yeah, see, he's got some pedigree behind him, apparently, this Rye the Sound Guy. But as a tension built between both of the Prestige and Rye, Rye wanted a match with the Prestige. He wanted a one-on-one match. He wanted to beat him in the middle of the ring. But the Prestige was having none of it. In fact, he had actually set up a match for Rye, and he stated if Rye could beat this guy, yes, that rhymed, then he would get a match with the Prestige. Who was it, Ronnie?
Jim Diehard.
It was Jim Diehard. Monster of a man.
Big
huge
fella.
6'6", I think he is.
I can't believe I have to think about that. I was like, Jim Diehard. Of course it's Jim Diehard. If you see this guy, folks, you'll understand why I have to literally be like, is it really Jim Diehard?
You wouldn't want to meet him in a dark alley. Certainly not with the massive beard that he's got.
Nah, I'll send him out.
You know I can see you, right? You're sat right next to me.
Yeah, of course.
Anyway, so Jim Diehard comes out for a match with the trainee, and it went exactly the way you expected it to go. He absolutely decimated Rye, the sound guy, hit 2 massive power bombs, pinfall victory, 1, 2, 3. That was Rye's little bit over and done with. But because the Prestige is a magnanimous man, he's a good man, then he offered Rye the match that he wanted.
I agree, but he didn't just decimate him, he annihilated the poor man. Did you see them power bombs?
Mm-hmm. So the Prestige gets in for a match with a fallen Rye sound guy. He hits a cutter
Quickly as well, wasn't it?
straight away. Just hit a cutter. Ref comes in. 1, 2, 3. Prestige brags away. I've won the match. There's your match. Job done. He goes to leave.
But as the Prestige is leaving, Rye does actually get the mic and he asks for another match. But this time, though, in June at Jubilee. And if Rye wins this, he gets a wrestler's contract. But if the Prestige wins, Rye leaves PEW never to be seen again.
The biggest question I have is, how can a trainee who doesn't have a wrestler's contract be the first tag team champion with the Prestige? It doesn't make any sense to me. But I'm not here to make sense of it. I'm here to tell you what is happening in Phenomenal Elite Wrestling. And that is what happens. Prestige is accepted. There is a one-on-one match. I've just seen it. There was a one-on-one match at Jubilee on the 4th of June between Rye, the sound guy, and the Prestige.
Exactly, and as what Derek was saying, there's clearly a big backstory that we don't really know about, which has led to this moment.
So, next up we had the PEW Internet Championship. It was a 4 corners elimination match. A little about this match before we go on, because I hear you asking it. You're in me ear. Derek, what is a 4 corners elimination match?
Exactly, and why is it the Internet Championship match? I've never heard of the Internet Championship match. Have you before, Derek?
Well, no, but it's clearly PEW's belt, right?
Exactly, yeah.
So this is 4 men start. 2 men in the ring, 2 on the apron of the ring. They will have to tag in and out, and it's an elimination match. So if you get pinned or submitted or you get disqualified, you're gone.
Exactly.
That's it. And it will go until 1 man is left standing. In this match, we have the debuting Polish Barry, the debuting amazing, massive name, experienced wrestler James Mason. We have the phenomenal Toby Valentine.
Using my line.
And we also have the champion H Hood.
Yeah, honestly, and the way this match started off was literally Toby Valentine and Polish Barry. They did do a standard matchup. Toby Valentine offered to tag in H Hood, but refused and jumped off the apron and walked away a little bit, just a little bit. And even after a little, even the matchup between Toby Valentine and Polish Barry, can you believe it? H Hood blind tags on Polish Barry and takes it to Toby Valentine.
He did indeed. It was a smart bit of wrestling from H Hood, the champion there, making sure that he gets in the match when he is good and ready. And you've got to take advantage of this. It was technically 3 against 1, even though it's all versus all. But everybody wants his championship. So if they want to take him out, then they've got to get him gone. So he used his brains, he used his nous, he got in the match, but that didn't last long, as Valentine used his agility, get back in the match on H Hood. He did bring him to get back out of the match again. H Hood distancing himself from the rest of the opponents, but it didn't last long. Because he got back in the ring, but when he got back in the ring, I thought he was going to go for it again. He didn't. He tagged that to James Mason.
Yeah, immediately as well. He literally immediately tagged him back in. And James Mason and Toby Valentine go at it though. And they really go at it in a really good contest before H Hood managed to avoid getting tagged in to only tag in blind.
Again. This was clearly his strategy, making sure that he's not going to get in when somebody else tags him, but he's going to get in when he needs to get into the match. So second blind tag comes in. It doesn't come to much though, because Polish Barry managed to tag in and he took control over H-Hood. This led to quick tags in and out for all three competitors. They were all beating down on H-Hood. I thought that was the end of it. I thought he was gone. But he managed to tag out with getting Polish Barry back in the ring. And we continued as we started. Polish Barry versus Toby Valentine.
Yeah, and Polish Barry, who literally took control of Toby Valentine with a big finisher, but only for H-Hood to have tagged in blind again.
One more time. And
steals the pin on Toby Valentine, who is now, ladies and gents, eliminated.
He's gone. It was a good move from Polish Barry. He was very angry that Hood managed to tag it in and steal his pin, but it's a four corners match. What can you do? Shortly after this, H-Hood rolled up Polish Barry as he was remonstrating, and he got a nice sneaky win. Pinfall 1, 2, 3, and that left H-Hood 1-on-1 with James Mason.
James Mason, the veteran, as we stated earlier, very top name. H-Hood gets on top quickly, but misses a big elbow drop on James Mason. Takes over a hitting big sunset flip splash for a very close near fall. I generally thought that was a free.
I've never seen this move before. This is why this guy is so good. He makes things up on the fly, and it generally wins in matches. But H-Hood had the stamina to wait this one out, and he got a little cheeky roll up on James Mason. He got the 1, 2, 3, but his feet were on the ropes.
And that's a very controversial win, though, isn't it? Because his feet is on the ropes, despite still winning the title, but the referee didn't see it.
Referee didn't see it, which means it's not cheating because he didn't get caught, and he leaves this event still your internet champion.
And that's very true, folks. But what a hell of a match that was, though, Derek.
Fantastic.
Really
I was expecting no less from this match, with some magnificent competitors in there. James Mason he ignites any match that he's in.
Exactly, and two excellent debuts as well from PEW.
Yeah, more debuts to come, though, isn't there?
Exactly, it's not ending there, folks. It's not ending there.
So after this, we had a triple threat match for the Women's Championship, the PEW Women's Championship. It was the champion Aurora Tevez, it was Harley Hudson, and it was Rio.
Oh, and we had the pleasure of actually interviewing Aurora Tevez, didn't we, backstage, just before the match?
We did. We had a beautiful conversation with the champ. She gave us her thoughts on the match and a rundown, a little bit of back history about why this match was taking place. And you can see it on our Facebook page.
And that is soon. You're going to see this very soon, ladies and gents, so stay tuned.
Now, the backstory behind this was Rio had a title match with Aurora Tevez at Kings of Combat. She lost. She was out of the hunt for the title. Harley Hudson had won a match to make her #1 contender of the Women's Championship. But Rio was not happy with this, so at the end of Kings of Combat, she beat both women down to make sure that she was still in the limelight, in the contention for this.
Yeah, exactly. And which then led to this match starting on a 2-on-1 against her. Yeah,
Aurora Tevez, Harley Hudson teaming up against Rio, getting a little bit of retribution from that beatdown from the last show. They went for a double suplex. This was blocked by Rio, and she rolled out of the ring, distanced herself, doing a little bit of a H-Hood there, and let the two competitors in the ring duke it out 1-on-1.
And Tevez and Hudson wrestle a very clean and even match. And Hudson gets the better, though, of Tevez, only missing out on a win due to Rio breaking up her pin attempt.
She forgot there was a third person in the match. How can you forget that you're in a triple threat match? But she forgot. Rio comes in, breaks up the pinfall attempt from Harley Hudson. She could have had it so quickly, but match continued. But now Rio back in the ring. She just hit strong move after strong move on both competitors, backwards and forwards, stood tall alone in that ring. Rio was the woman at this point. Harley Hudson on the outside of the ring, Aurora Tevez down inside the ring.
Yeah, exactly. And then Rio still continues to keep a domination on Tevez, whilst keeping Hudson at bay outside of the ring. Rio did go for the pin, but it was broken up by the last second from Hudson.
It was. It was. That was definitely a 2 7/8. That one.
2 7/9.
She 2 7/9.
Yeah, literally.
That does make sense.
2 9.
What?
2 9, maybe 2
2 8/9.
2 8.9.
Yeah. Anyway, it was close. Very close. But the match continued, and Rio continued to dominate. This time she got Harley Hudson in a full Nelson. Now, I've been in a full Nelson. It hurts.
How do you think I feel?
I don't know. Have you been in a full Nelson?
Yes, I used to wrestle before D-Man, don't forget.
All right. Who was you? Who was the last person that put you? You know what? It doesn't matter.
This is about you, folks.
Harley Hudson managed to power out of this this full Nelson that Rio had her in. But Rio just slammed her to the mat. And she picked up Aurora Tevez, slammed her on Harley Hudson, tried to stack them both for the pinfall win. But it was not to be.
Both women kicking out at the same time as well. And Tevez and Hudson start coming back on Rio, eventually hitting the straight jacket slam as each has a different arm. With Rio down, Tevez puts Hudson in the last chancery submission before it's broken up by a recovering Rio, who then hits White Noise on Hudson.
Yeah, I thought the last chancery would put her away. But again, triple threat. You know, the Rio did actually recover in time to break it up. And a strong looking White Noise there on Harley Hudson. Now this brought a triple down. All three women laying exhausted in the middle of the ring, and Harley Hudson, Aurora Tevez got back up again, and they again, as they started the match, teamed up on Rio to keep her down. Now this brought Aurora Tevez to hit a beautiful looking roundhouse kick, knocking Harley Hudson clean out of this match.
Well, I mean knocked out, completely not moving, absolutely sparko. Rio goes for a finisher on Tevez, but this is reversed to another roundhouse to the head for a pinfall victory to retain the title.
And there we have it. Aurora Tevez is still your PEW Women's Champion, taking out the very, very strong threats of Rio and Harley Hudson. And I've got to give all credit to Harley Hudson in this match. I thought she was brilliant. She was indeed phenomenal.
I agree. And you know what? As Derek's used my line once again throughout this podcast with you, both superstars, Hudson and Rio, absolutely phenomenal. Can't take nothing away from them from this match, but Tevez is still your women's champion.
She really is. And to overcome two top competitors like that was brilliant. And she's proven why she is the champion.
Exactly.
Now, this led to another title match, and potentially my favourite match of the card.
Yes, you were a big fan of this match, weren't you?
I certainly was. Now, this was the PEW Tag Championship title match. This is Chocolate Rave versus the champions, the Rebellion.
Oh, God, what a match this was, honestly. Both really good tag teams, with Chocolate Rave having Chocolate Thunder and Lance Rivera, and with the team of Rebellion, Jack Torino and Taylor James. Now, really talented.
Before this match started, I was confused about this one, but Rivera decided to attack the announcer Ben Cecil. I don't know why this happened. It took everybody a bit by surprise. I think everybody in the crowd was a little bit shocked about this. But Lance Rivera attacked Ben Cecil, and yeah, there's been some repercussions on that one. But he got back up, he announced the Rebellion. This match started. The Rebellion started out strong in their defence of their titles. They got the better of Chocolate Rave early on. But this brought up the Chocolate Rave's manager onto the apron in the Rebellion's corner to cause a distraction, which means Chocolate Rave could take over.
A bit of an unfair way to take over a match, but it is what it is. And Chocolate Rave did work on Jack Torino while building to the hot tag of Taylor James, who comes in a house of fire. They work some nice tag offense leading to an assistive spear. Oh, Derek, what a spear that was. And I don't even know how that wasn't even a 1, 2, 3.
It was amazing. It was one of the most top quality spears I think I've seen in a long time, but it definitely wasn't the best thing in this match. There were some things that were coming later that just blew my mind. But after the spear and the near fall, Chocolate Rave did work their way back into the match. They hit they went to hit their finisher, Death by Chocolate. They got the pin, but that was broken up. You got JT running in there, breaking up the pin. Taylor James Sorry, Jack Torino, not Taylor James.
Yeah,
Jack Torino.
What's going on?
Breaking up the pin there. Now, this led to what I consider to be the best move of the night. So, let me set this up for you. Lance Rivera is bent over. He's got his hands on the middle rope. Jack Torino runs at him, rolls up his back, bounces off of the ropes, rolls down his back, grabs him into a German suplex, over the shoulder. Absolutely brilliant. I was blown away. I've never seen it before.
That hurts when you speak about it. Oh, God. Will not take a perfect German suplex like that. A stunning move, man. But then, even after that, the Rebellion took over and hit a combination of a buckle bomb with an insecurity to a wheelbarrow with a springboard cutter for the pin, retaining their titles. That trio of a move.
I didn't believe that this German suplex could be followed up.
No, exactly.
That combination just it blew my mind. It really did. If you have any way of watching this, watch it. It is well worth going out of your way to watch. And the Rebellion showing why they are the tag team champions. They remained the tag team champions. They held their titles aloft, and then two men hit the ring. I had never seen these guys before.
Yeah, who the hell are they?
This was our first experience of PEW, I will have to say. But these guys hit the ring, they beat the Rebellion down, and then they ran off with their titles, which I think is a chicken move. I'm not a fan of this kind of thing. But you only hold the championship belts if you win. These guys didn't win. They ran off. Luckily for us, I was sat next to the commentary table, and I heard Dave Bradshaw identifying them as Brady Phillips and Riley Nova. Maybe, that was a foreshadowing of what was to come later.
But why on earth would you steal championships when, one, you're not even had a title shot for them championships, and two, what the hell are you doing there in the first place?
Exactly, what were they doing there in the first place? I'll tell you later. So this led to our 8th match of the card, and this was the Fallen Angel tournament. Do you mind? I'm trying to talk here.
You're right.
In my face.
All in your face.
Stop it. Calm down. Jeez. Anyway, as I was saying, the 8th match of the night, the Fallen Angel tournament, quarterfinals, Ruby Radley versus Aurora, not to be mixed up with Aurora Tevez.
No, two totally different superstars, and honestly, this Fallen Angel tournament match was, for me, I really enjoyed it. It was a bit of a slow start to the match, but it was fairly even, back and forth. Both ladies were very neutral and very 50-50 throughout this start of the match, with Ruby Radley getting on top for Aurora to come back, and then Ruby Radley to get the advantage back. So it was very back and forth, don't you think, Derek?
It was. I was surprised as well, because Aurora looks like a big, strong lady. I thought she would dominate this match. Ruby Radley being the smaller, agile competitor, but what do I know? Hey, what do I know? Yeah, she clearly was a very good, or is a very good wrestler. She hit a wonderful-looking big split-legged leg drop on Aurora. She got a near fall. I thought that was her big move. And Aurora kicked out of that. After this, she took over. That was it. It was all Aurora. She hit strong move after strong move on Ruby Radley. Radley tried getting back in the match multiple times, always getting cut off by Aurora's strength. But it did actually end up happening.
Exactly, and Ruby Radley did get back into the match though. Did get back into match hitting really clean strikes, clotheslines, and hit a picture-perfect drop kick to the chest for a near fall, and I generally thought that was a 3.
I thought that was a 3 as well. That drop kick was phenomenal. Aurora did then manage to hit a good-looking spear. Second spear of the night. Not as good as the first one, but this was definitely a good-looking spear.
Still good, though.
After a reversal, a near fall, but it wasn't to be. Ruby Radley hitting the flying code breaker. A near fall on that one. I thought that was done, but Aurora kicking out, which sends Ruby Radley up for the double foot stomp. 1, 2, 3. Job done. Onto the semi-finals.
And honestly, what a victory that was from Ruby Radley. And folks, you do not want to miss what's coming up for the semi-finals. Well deserved though. and you can't take anything away from Aurora. Did what you could.
She gave it her all, but Ruby Radley was better on the night, and she proved that you don't have to be big and strong to win a wrestling match.
That's very true, folks.
I bet you were proving that in your career as well, weren't you?
Yeah, well, if you look at my back history, shows why I'm that phenomenal. Eh?
Maybe we should get you on PEW, huh?
Yeah, maybe after when I'm injured. Careful, folks, when you go to the gym, you don't injure yourself.
This leads to our main event.
Oh, what a main event this was, folks. It was the PEW Heavyweight Championship between Martin Kirby, who's the champion, against JUST JOE LANDO.
The young, brash, amazing wrestler, JUST JOE LANDO. Now, this actually is my favourite match of the night. Not just because of the match, but because of the ending that we'll get to as well. But it started evenly. Martin Kirby, Joe Lando, back and forward, one trying to get up on the other, and two top-level competitors in this match. But Martin Kirby was the one that actually finally managed to take control. He slapped on this octopus-like submission on Joe Lando. It wasn't quite the octopus, but it looked like he was twisting him up like a pretzel.
It was really painful. It was really painful only for JUST JOE to get free without submitting. Luckily, just got free without submitting. And JUST JOE got a little comeback. He did get a little bit of a comeback in, hitting Martin Kirby with a beautiful drop kick, followed by a double foot stomp for a very close near fall.
Yeah, it was an interesting combination, and Martin Kirby showing his resilience in this match from two quick hits there. He followed. Joe Lando followed this up quickly with a great combination of a tornado DDT, shotgun dropkick, and a senton bomb, another near fall.
And Martin Kirby only kicking out at literally the last second of that fall. And Kirby worked his way back into the match with a brutal-looking backpack stunner. That was probably a closer near fall for when he got pinned.
Have you ever taken a backpack stunner?
Yeah. I still have nightmares about it, Derek.
Nightmares. It was a very good move. I was actually quite surprised that wasn't the end of the match right there.
Me too.
But this brought us to our final conclusion. Now, Joe Lando whips Martin Kirby off into the corner, but the ref, for some reason, didn't get out of the way and got caught. So Martin Kirby whips into the ref. Ref gets knocked out, goes on the outside of the ring. He's down. He's out. You expect your refs to be better, don't you?
Of course, yeah. It's just one of those things where he gets knocked out of the ring, and I don't understand why though. But this brought out Jim Diehard to the ring, and he hit a really impressive and a massive spine buster on JUST JOE for Martin Kirby to get a near fall after the second ref enters the ring.
Yeah, this down from the referee brought out a surprise in Jim Diehard. He had destroyed one man already early on in the night, and he was looking to do it again. But Joe Lando's showing how tough he is, keeping in this match. Now, after this near fall, Joe hit a beautiful Falcon Arrow. He went to the top rope to finish off Martin Kirby to take the pin, to take the title. But Jim, he caused a distraction, and out came Brady Phillips, Riley Nova, and Ivy. Now, ref distracted, Brady Phillips shoves Joe Lando off of the top rope. Ivy gives Kirby the baseball bat. Baseball bat comes into play again, knocks out Joe Lando. 1, 2, 3, and still the PEW Heavyweight Champion, Martin Kirby.
That's the thing, I didn't understand that. The way that went down for me is not how it should have gone down. But what do I know? I'm just here to entertain you fans. I personally don't think it's right. Well, forget you. But after the match...
Don't forget me at all, because this is why I thought this was the best match of the night. After the match, Martin Kirby grabs that mic and he introduced everybody in the ring. You have Martin Kirby, you have Jim Diehard, you have Brady Phillips, you have Riley Nova with the tag championship belts, and you have Ivy. They are the new PEW faction called The Entitled.
And the way that's gone down, Percy, ladies and gents, it is what it is. He's very happy about it because he likes a shortcut out of things and doesn't like to work hard. But what can you do? But nevertheless, though, you cannot take anything away from Martin Kirby, who as an individual is a phenomenal wrestler. Great talent. Didn't need this so-called entitled and other people to help him. That's what I'm annoyed for. Don't need to smile at me like that because it's true. But Just Joe Lando will definitely get another chance some point.
We were lucky enough to get Just Joe Lando's thoughts about this after the match. That is coming up. Thank you for watching. We are the British Wrestling Review. I am Derek Del Monte.
And I am Ronnie Fontaine.
Thank you for watching. We will see you again for Borderline Winsanity.
And don't forget to click like and subscribe our YouTube channel.
Welcome to the British Wrestling Review. I'm Derek Del Monte.
And I'm Ronnie Fontaine.
And
Obviously I'm here.
We are after the foregone conclusion. It is all over. It has become a conclusion. And we're standing here with defeated challenger Joe Lando.
Oh man.
He got a beatdown from the new faction that's just been created.
What's her name?
Entitled, I think.
Very
Called
undeserved.
Entitled.
Okay.
Very undeserved, by the way. Did not deserve that. He
Thank
did
you,
not
bro.
deserve
I
that
didn't.
for the slightest, did you?
No, I didn't.
Absolutely
But
not.
Martin knew he had to cheat to beat me because last
course.
time I beat him.
So you're 1-1 now.
I am indeed.
You're thinking a rubber match, is that coming up?
I think it needs to pay off, brother. I think it needs to pay off. And I think I need to become phenomenal elite wrestling champion. How about that, hey?
Well, you certainly acted like it in the ring. You had the better of him on many occasions in there. But now he's got all of those people behind him. Can you do it? Can you
Don't
overcome?
forget, this man was robbed tonight. He was robbed.
Yeah, he
He
was.
outright did exactly what
Brother.
he needed to do. And what happened? He was cheated at again.
Yeah, there were 5 of them.
5 of them.
Five of them.
Exactly. Yeah,
I think
count
5,
your
right?
fingers, D-man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He was cheated.
One
He
down
deserved
referee,
everything.
one new referee. So how are you going to overcome those odds in the next match, if you get one?
How am I going to overcome the odds? There's many ways, my friend. We can either ban everyone from ringside, or I can bring some close personal friends of my own. Either way, I'm down.
Now that's
you get
what
that.
I
You
like
get
to
that.
hear.
You get that.
That's what I like to hear.
But personally, this man is more than good enough to take anyone on and win. Because seeing what I saw tonight, this man deserved to win. Phenomenal.
Could he beat you though, Mr. Ronnie Fontaine?
I got his back. That's the point.
I don't need to beat him.
Because he
That's it.
deserved it. Straight down the line, no nonsense, no BS. This man absolutely deserved to win. But once again, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 5 people interfered to cost him the match.
Careful there, we don't want no gimmick infringement. So there we go, Joe Lando, beaten by 5 people
5.
and a knockdown ref. But he will come back. We'll see you in June.